Good day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Nevermind with Tommy podcast, where we're making headlines like an overtightened baseball cap. If a woman dresses whorishly and goes out on a date, then surely you'll defend these words. She isn't asking to be raped. If a person chooses to walk away rather than provoke a bully in a fight, surely you don't think that he deserves a beating. He's just doing what he feels is right. So many people, though, say that doing nothing is the cause of violence. Like, I can provoke a man or woman by attacking them with silence. Like a lawyer can win every case he has by never taking on a client. These are the same people who say that anti vaxxers kill those getting vaxxed, or that the government causes poverty by not hitting successful folks with heavy tax. I'll never understand you or forgive you for making me stand beside him. The blood of American soldiers isn't resting now on Biden. What about the presidents who left our soldiers there to fight? Is this not on them at all for not getting us out of this in 20 years of days and nights? Is this not on you for never bringing a better solution to the table? Is this not on me for not voting for Jorgensen when I was able? It's so easy for each of us to point fingers and yell out which, while we sit inside our comfy homes and piss and cry and bitch. Biden hasn't pulled a trigger. He hasn't killed a single Marine. Just like Trump wasn't guilty of all the accusations that were uncorroborated and unseen. Stop investing so much time, emotion, and hatred upon each other. I ask of you this favor. Each of you should try just once to simply love your neighbor. But if a neighbor should spill innocent American soldiers' blood upon the ground, then let's root for all of our soldiers to kill that motherfucker once he's found. There's no time to side against our government in positions we elect. It's time to cause discomfort for those who take the freedom that our soldiers all protect. Joining me as always, Tommy fucking Washington. What's been up, man? How are you?
Pat, that was a very good intro.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I like that one.
I love that there are people killing Americans and other Americans are like, let's go after Biden. Like, what? Are you fucking out of your mind?
So it's funny that
bigger fish to fry, bro.
So I was talking with somebody yesterday, one of my neighbors,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Oh, Biden's gonna get impeached for this and all that," and I'm like, "Nah, man, nah, it's not like what the fuck. Like he can't help that these people bomb that fucking airport. Like it is what it is, dude. Like unfortunately, that's a cost of war. Unfortunately, we should have been out of there a long time ago. Um, and again, like I had a very long discussion with somebody Friday night that listens to the show, I think on
Oh,
occasion.
man, clutch.
And a lot of these it's so much could be solved by just, simply loving your neighbor. Uh New merch out, go check it out in the merch store. It'll be out tomorrow when you guys listen to this. Love that neighbor
I'm sorry.
t-shirt.
Did you just verbalize an ad in the middle of making a point?
Yeah, absolutely. Duh. Uh my wife's trying to stay off camera. The camera's over here, you're good. Thank you, honey.
Erica, you look beautiful.
Pat says you look beautiful. So yeah. It's I'm telling you, man. So you know how I'm always saying that I wanna it's time for a revolution?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm just saying like it's time for us to stand up and get these people in power out of power because they're really the biggest problem with our society the way it is. Like they're if you're too blind to see between the media and the government, they're pinning us against each other to hate one another. Then you're part of the problem, right? Like you need to be able to open your mind and see what's going on around you. And that's my whole point is that we're fucking Americans. These people work for us. We don't work for them. We're not doing what they tell us to do. They're supposed to do what we tell them to do. Like that's the
Not
whole
only
point
that,
in
but
being free.
I know that you were a little bit younger when 9/11 happened, but don't forget that after 9/11, like this post 9/11, first off, reports came out that Bush was told that the Twin Towers were going to be taken that morning. Everybody was told. We all knew. Here's the thing it was among thousands of other threats that they got every day. So every day it was, the president's going to die. The Twin Towers are going to get eliminated. Fucking, we're going to kill the LA Lakers. Like everybody was being threatened every day. So when it came out, everybody was, oh, Bush is part of it, but this is a conspiracy because Bush knew. Yes, Bush was told. He was also told a million other things. And everybody unanimously agreed that some people were going to have to die for what happened. And America is missing that right now because don't get me wrong, we were divided, very heavily divided, especially in like mainstream music and media, saying that Bush was a warmonger, or Bush, is an idiot for the way he handled things. But everybody unanimously said Bin Laden's got to go. Saddam, as an afterthought, also had to go. We all agreed that the price that you pay for costing American lives was you were going to have to die. And I haven't heard a single person say that over this. Everything I see is that Biden's a fucking monster.
Well,
Biden, who can't
so
get a sentence out, is the guy that we're worried about.
so here's where I'm at with that, right? If like the whole point of this is to get out of there, the fact of us saying, all right, we need to kill these Taliban, it's just
Change your mind. I don't care. Our goal was to get out of there peacefully and non-violently. You have taken that option away from us, so now we'll stay. You've made your bed. You sleep in it. Let's go kill him.
I'm listen, I'm not opposed to that. At the same time, because again, I'm a big advocate on we need to mind our own fucking business, but now you've made it our business, right? Like you could have just let us leave and you could have taken over control of your country however you wanted to do it. And that's their business, just like Steve was saying on the podcast. We can't force them to adapt our culture, right? That's not our
Right.
place.
But if that's the truth, and I agree that that's the truth, if that's the truth, then the other side of that coin is we also can't force them to kill anybody.
Yeah,
So since they've decided to do that,
yeah,
now they've got to pay.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Listen, I think we should turn it all into a nice, nice hockey rink over there. You know what I mean?
I don't understand what you mean.
When you nuke sand, it turns to glass.
The hockey rink's ice, right? Not glass.
Yeah, but you can skate on ice or on glass. You know what I mean? It'd be nice.
All right, no, I'm with you. I get what you're saying now.
You know what I mean? Let's just turn it into a sheet of ice, a sheet of glass. The whole place, the whole region. Fuck them.
I mean, are you taking this strictly from Sweet Home Alabama? Is that where you're getting this from?
No, what is
Do you
that?
remember that movie, the rom-com starring
Yeah,
Reese
I know.
Witherspoon?
Yeah, great movie. Great movie. Top 5.
When the lightning strikes and it makes those glass sculptures that her husband then sells.
Yeah. Well, I'm not taking it from that. That's how I know it
what
happens.
a great flick.
It is a good movie. I love that movie, and she's hot as fuck. But
I
anyway,
kind of want to go watch Sweet Home Alabama now. Can we pause the podcast for an hour and 40 minutes?
but other than that, man, I liked your intro. Not much going on at the homestead. Spent some time with my sister yesterday. Spent some time with my family on Friday night. Unfortunately, I'm gonna miss my niece's birthday, but we had her sleep over Saturday night. Had a little fun with her.
What a clear communicator, man. We talked to her. We were at the bank opening up a little joint account, hashtag heterosexual. And we were, Erica went to meet you because you guys were going somewhere and she had your niece. That little girl just like speaks perfectly clear English. I don't know when she went from barely being able to walk to speaking, but she is a great communicator.
She is so much fun to be around. She's a great
good
kid.
age. How old is she?
She's 3. She just turned 3.
Okay.
She's hilarious. She's fun. We were having dinner at my aunt and uncle's the other night, and that's when we decided. And so we're sitting around with my aunt and uncle. It's my son Erica and her, and we're having a conversation that like no child should really be part of. But she's just sitting there, and then she like puts in her 2 cents about that doesn't even relate to the topic, but it was like hilarious. Can you stop blowing that to the screen? Thanks.
You seem very distracted today.
No, I got the kid walking around, coming up and down the stairs. He's fucking all over the place. He should be getting ready.
I'm
for
willing
football.
to bet that he's barefoot. I'm willing to put money on the fact that he's barefoot.
So this fucking asshole, right? This fucking asshole that I call my child complains that his feet hurt, right? So, and I tell him it's because he has flat feet and he needs to wear insoles in his shoes. And he should be wearing shoes as often as possible because of this to give his feet the arch support and not walk around barefoot all the time. And he still walks around barefoot because he's a fucking asshole. That or sandals, which are the worst things on the planet for your feet.
I wonder if they have some plantar fasciitis friendly sandals. If they do, I'd like a pair.
Possibly.
I'm gonna hit the
Google
Google
that real
machine while
quick.
you continue the podcast.
Well, Pat, I'm ready to get into mail time.
All right, let's open it up.
All right. Erica, might want to throw this into the podcast, Pat. Erica said something in the chat.
Are we on the podcast?
I'm not recording because we're about to get into mail time.
Dude, they got some pretty nice shoes. I looked up sandals, so I'm sure I'm getting to sandals. Wow, they get up there in price pretty quick. Wow, the sandals are not cheap.
Skechers says arch support flip flops she bought for $60.
I might have to go grab me a pair of them there.
It's funny that I have flat feet and she didn't get me a pair. But anyway, you ready to do mail time?
All right.
All right, Pat. So we got one piece of mail, and also along with this piece of mail, we got a donation from my sister. It was $100 donation, greatly appreciated. And her email goes a little bit like this. From the number one sibling. Came by the site today with a smiley face. Impressive upgrades. Proud of you both. Nice merch store. I need the website again for the studio. Feedback 1. Although it might be more money, I think the logo should be on the back of the shirts too, nice and big. So you have some bigger options on the front of your shirts for purchase. Good, compared to the one you gave us. You should wear the logo during your podcast, at least during special guest event once. Really liked the hat. Maybe the onesie for Pat. LOL. I'll try to stop by more, listen more, and promote more. Proud of you.
Such a big sister message.
Yeah, she's a self-proclaimed number one sibling.
I mean, really, who's her competition? Tim? Come on.
Phobics in the Chase says, whoa, look at this high-tech stream. Did a third grader write this? And I believe he's talking about the email. maybe Sophia wrote it for
sibling rivalry.
Yeah. Phobic, thanks for stopping by.
While we were on our brief hiatus to go look at plantar fasciitis friendly footwear, Erica mentioned that Skechers arch support flip flops are $60. I found a whole website. It's called Kuru Footwear, KURU footwear.com. They have tons of good shoes, sandals, flip flops. They've got like slides. They've got sneakers. It's I probably have to drop anywhere from $100 to $150, but you can get yourself a pair of shoes that'll look like they'll last a while.
Phobic also dropped in your number one sibling, but doesn't partake in the stream. Well, you know, can't debate his logic there. Can't debate his logic. I do want to say that we did get some. We sold some merch out of the store. So thanks to everybody. I believe my mom bought some stuff, and Erica bought some stuff as well. Make sure you're checking it out. number9podcast.com/merch-store. And
the official dog of the podcast right here, Evie.
Really, you think Evie's the official dog, not one of my two dogs?
Evie's the only one that comes on the stream. Evie, come on.
Anyway, so that's it for mail time. Again, thanks, Tiffany. Really appreciate your support with the donation. Pez, is there any other feedback you want to throw in here?
No, I appreciate the message. I am glad that she's, promoting. I wish we could do more to promote hers, but hers is highly centralized to a specific area.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, maybe she, maybe for her $100 donation, we just throw out a little thing for her. Go check out Danbury Dynamic Dance and Fitness.
Danbury Dynamic Dance and Fitness.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Does she do online classes? I would assume she does, given the pandemic afoot.
Uh, she did all of her classes during the pandemic virtually, but as soon as they were able to be back in the studio, they went back to the studio. So, but that's a good
Okay.
idea, right? It's Phobic says it's called a plug. Thanks, Tim. Uh, she that's actually not a bad idea, right? Do dance classes all online, for people that don't live around here. I
I'm
guess,
sure
but
that
that
crazy bitch
interaction
from
is
what?
that I think it would be a little bit difficult, right? Because the interaction or show kids how to do a certain thing a certain way might be a little bit more difficult over video.
I assume grading technique and the little nuances that make a good dancer a great dancer would be nearly impossible via Skype.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what we got for mail time. We're moving
We're gonna
onward and
jump into
upward.
some memes.
Yeah. Let's see. Mail time close. Phobic, what do you think?
I'm
You
happy.
like the new setup that we got going on, Phobic? It's been a little while since you've been on. To be fair, this is only the second stream like this.
To be fair. Hey, what time's the baby shower today?
Who is the baby shower?
Oof,
Oh
I
yeah,
do not know what time it starts.
yeah. I'm not going to
Why not?
that. Colin is a. I like the ability to do socially distant streams. Nice. Me too. I thought this was great. And me and Pat could do it from the comfort of our own homes. It's awesome. We don't have to see each other, only on video. Colin has a jamboree today. That's why I'm not going to that.
Okay. Is it a gymboree?
It's a football jamboree.
No. Okay.
He's playing like 3 other teams or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so we got some memes that some people sent into the show. Let's start with this one. What's this one?
So this is from the Townsville Bulletin, the North's own paper. It says, "Lucky to survive. Woman beats off shark." And then there's a picture under that newspaper that somebody's put of a shark with a giant smile. And I thought, this is a fucking classic meme. Good old fashioned fun right here. The shark clearly satisfied after being beaten off.
Very nice, Pat. Very nice. I'm glad that
Good
that's
for her.
Yeah, you got issues.
The next meme, this one's for Tommy. It says, Nick Foles' career literally went in reverse. He went from Super Bowl MVP, back up for 3 years, and now he's a third stringer. Sorry, Tommy. I had to do it.
Is that really true that he's a third stringer?
Yeah.
What team? Is he on the Bears?
I couldn't even tell you.
Pretty sure he went to the Bears.
He's so irrelevant, I don't know.
Listen, Big Dick Nick, man. He's no joke, dude.
You'll notice that the title of this that I put in was Big Nick. He went from Big Dick Nick to Dickless Nicholas.
Very nice, Pat. Very nice.
Thank you.
You're a fucking asshole.
That's what we get for memes. We're moving on to Three Finger News, where the most important story of 2021 has come out. The gun that killed Billy the Kid, meaning Pat Garrett's Colt single-action army revolver used to kill Billy the Kid, now, 140 years later, the famed gun that took down one of the Wild West's most infamous outlaws is up for auction. The single-action revolver that Garrett used will be offered at Bonham's auction house. Estimates believe the revolver could go for over $3 million. Now, here's the thing. One, as it should. Two, I think we can all agree Pat Garrett did not kill William H. Bonney and that they were pals and he let him go. If you've seen Young Guns and its sequel, Young Guns Part 2, there is basically the story goes an old man in his, I think, 80s shows up kind of just out of the blue, calls for a lawyer to meet with him. The lawyer meets with him. And the old man says, I'm Billy the Kid, and I want to be pardoned for the killing of 23 or 24 men. And the lawyer says, Billy the Kid got killed by Pat Garrett a long time ago. And he says, no, he did not. We were friends. He didn't kill me. He let me go as long as I stayed quiet. And he actually went to court and was denied the pardon and died a couple weeks later. So I'm not sure that this gun actually killed Billy the Kid, because I'm pretty sure no gun killed Billy the Kid. Still an interesting story, and I'd love to get my hands on this fucking gun. I don't have $3 million.
Maybe shortly we will for this podcast, but you fully believe the Young Guns movies verbatim? Like that's really what happened in history?
No, I do believe that the man who claimed that he was William H. Bonney was in fact William H. Bonney. He told that lawyer the stories of what happened with him and his posse. Why would somebody out of the blue make that up and go for the pardon? That seems like a lot of needless effort.
I don't know. Some probably knew he was dying and wanted to be remembered, even though he was a nobody, because we all know that Billy the Kid was killed.
Billy the Kid lived. He did not get killed by Pat Garrett. That's my stance.
All right.
I hate you for saying otherwise.
Why do you hate me?
For saying otherwise.
That's not very nice, Pat.
God, Tom, pay attention.
The
next news.
I've seen this story that's coming up, and it's fucking phenomenal. It's phenomenal, and I'm so glad you put it into the show, because I did not read what the basis of the lawsuit was.
Did you read the highlighted parts when you saw the timeline?
No, I was busy trying to fix the stream so that we can go live.
Okay, well, I'll take care of you. The title of this one's going to be called Baby, It's Cold Outside. Now, there's a little wordplay there. This is a article. The article that I chose to pick from and highlight from was by Ashley Cullens, which is, it looks like that she works for Plus Icon. Nope, that's definitely a fucking thing that I should have deleted. You like that?
Do you think this next one?
Nevermind.
Do you think this other one that says logo text is also where she works?
Logo text is, yeah, that's her actual workplace. My bad. Never mind that Nirvana child pornography lawsuit, attorney says. See the play on words there with Nevermind? I like it. Nirvana's 1991 album cover featuring a naked baby in a pool is now at the center of a debate about the line between art and child pornography, while some seasoned litigators say there's nothing a reasonable person would see as sexual about that image. The lawyer for the man in the photo insists it's child exploitation material. Now, this is a very important quote. A reasonable person would see as sexual about that image. And we're going to come back to that. This article is about to come full circle right at the end. So the naked swimming baby on the iconic Nirvana Nevermind cover is now a 30-year-old man, and he's suing just about everybody connected to the album. He claims that the photo amounts to child pornography and an invasion of his privacy. Spencer Eldon filed a lawsuit in California against Nirvana, Universal Music Group, Warner Records, music mogul David Geffen, the band members, including late Kurt Cobain via his estate, and 3 other individuals who oversee it, including his now widow, Courtney Love. Elder alleges that the image depicts him, quote, like a sex worker, grabbing for a dollar bill that is positioned dangling from a fish hook in front of his nude body with his penis explicitly displayed. He also claims he had a reasonable expectation that the images depicting him would remain private, and maintains his legal guardians didn't sign a release authorizing the use of the images. We're going to fast forward here. He is one of several babies that were chosen for this album cover. So what they were doing was they were basically just walking around asking parents if they could throw their baby in the water and take pictures. They would blow on their face to, activate the gag reflex, throw them in the water, snap a couple photos, give them back to the parents. And I think they paid them all each $200. It's somewhere in here. So the parents were fully aware of what the fuck this was being used for. They didn't know that their baby would be chosen, but they knew why they were doing it and that their baby was an option, if that makes sense. So I think that's where a lot of this, because we're going to get into some gray area about whether or not permission was given, because after they took the picture, they paid them $200 and sent them on their way. So there actually may not be a release that anybody's able to find because nobody knows who the fuck the parents were after the picture was taken. They walked away. They went and actually had lunch with the $200 they were just given.
Is that
So
fact
Brian
that they
Sullivan,
went and had lunch?
yeah, it's in here.
Oh, okay.
The 30-year-old tells what happens, which makes this even more ridiculous. Brian Sullivan, an entertainment litigation partner at Early Sullivan, says the suit is ridiculous and that even if there wasn't a written agreement, which he doubts, Eldon's claims are weak. I think that it's highly unlikely that a record company would use a photograph for an album cover without verifying the existence of a release signed by the parents. But if there is no release, it does not mean he has a claim for child pornography. As to the right of privacy, you can waive it by your actions or by his parents' actions in allowing him to be photographed. So, what he's saying is okay, so there might not be a release. That's possible. But if there's not a release, the parents knew what the fuck was going on and they were fine with it at the time. Eldon's attorney, James Marsh, whose practice focuses on victims of sex abuse, insists permission wasn't given. Our understanding was that there was no release. Now, this you'll notice that this is highlighted in a different color because the next sentence is really, really why this is even worth covering. In a culture in which we are trying to uphold consent as one of the highest values, an image of a child naked that he didn't consent to should cause people concern. This is the epitome, if you will, of people playing current America against current America. They're saying, well, 30 years ago, this is perfectly fine because we weren't all fucking idiots. But today, since we're all fucking idiots, this is a problem and we want millions of dollars. Are you with me?
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. This guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he literally says we're
How much you
trying
want to bet
to
that his
uphold
lawyer
consent.
found this guy? I bet you the lawyer found this guy and said, "Hey, you were on the cover of the Nirvana album. I can make you a millionaire. Let's do it."
He actually goes into saying that they've spent years researching this case before they took it. So I think you're onto something. I think that they did spend years researching this case. And by that, I mean years researching any case that they could get their hands on where they could win some money for them and their client.
Yeah.
And then probably just reached out to the client. That attorney adds there are a plethora of defenses to the suit. He notes, I think what will be most troubling for any judge will be the amount of time that has elapsed since the photo was published. The fact that the kid's parents did this knowingly, more or less, but they knew the naked baby was being photographed. And the numerous times that the plaintiff himself embraced the photo and sought publicity for himself. It goes on to quote the actual fucking issue here. What I think really damns their case is the fact that this kid sat for all these interviews and recreated the album art. So here we go. This is an actual fucking quote from the kid who's suing. He said in a 2015 essay in The Guardian, his parents agreed to the shoot and said it had opened doors for him. I don't think my parents really gave my taking part in this shoot too much thought. They knew who Nirvana were, but weren't really into the grunge scene. I was only 4 months old and my dad was attending art school at the time, and his friends would often ask for help with their projects. So his friend, the photographer, Kirk Weddle, called him and said, "Do you want to make some money today and throw your kid in the pool?" And he agreed. My parents took me down there. Apparently, they blew in my face to stimulate my gag reflex, dunked me in and took some pictures and pulled me out. And that was it. They were paid $200 and went to eat tacos afterwards. No big deal. Weddle had shot a number of babies to find the right image, and they ended up choosing me. I think it's because of my penis. A lot of the other babies were girls. Also, the composition seemed very natural. I'm glad they chose me. That was in 2015. This is 6 years later, and he's suing them. He's the biggest piece of shit, man. So Marsh, this guy's attorney, Oh, I'm sorry. Marsh is the other attorney. Eldon is a slap motion kind of he's going after the slap motion. The slap motion is strategic lawsuits against public participation, SLAPP, strategic lawsuits against public participation. So he's saying we vetted this case very carefully over many years before we filed it. We chose this case. We chose to bring this case forward because we have good faith belief that this qualifies under the law as child exploitation material. There's nothing in my view that a reasonable. Okay, so stop there. This guy's literally saying we found out about SLAP and we looked for cases that would apply. So they weren't using the law to fight their case. They're looking for a case based on the law.
Yeah.
Okay. So this SLAP law exists, and they go, well, fuck. What can we uncover? How many stones are left unturned that now fit under this law?
How much money can we make is basically what they're saying. Let's go find some shit to make some money at. And who bigger to go after than fucking Nirvana?
Correct. And there's someone on Nirvana's side of things that says there's no bright line rule. It has to be something created to stimulate prurient interests. I'm not sure that I'm getting that word right. So now we're coming full circle, as promised. This is a Kurt Cobain quote. Now, remember, Kurt Cobain's been gone for a little while, like 20 years. Kurt Cobain said, more than 20 years, sorry, more like 25 years, I think. Kurt Cobain said, would the album have been iconic without his penis as it was with it? If it could have, why did they pick the image that it, oh, I'm sorry, that's Marsh. Marsh said that. Would the album have been iconic without his penis in it? If it could have, why did they pick the image that displayed it? He said that, pointing to an allegation, Cobain wanted to actually cover the baby's genitals. So this is directly from Kurt Cobain. He wanted to cover the baby's genitals with a sticker that said, if you're offended by this, you must be a closet pedophile. So we're going to come full circle. Like I said, the first person who we stopped for that quote, it was, let's see, where are you? Here we go. Oh, no, I lied about here we go. Sorry, Tom.
Jeez, man, I wish you
it's okay. The problem is there was too much to fucking highlight, so now I'm looking. Okay. Reasonable expectation that the images depicted would remain private. Fuck me, running. I really wish you could pause the.
A reasonable person would see as sexual about this image. There's nothing a reasonable person would see as sexual about this image.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, my bad. There's nothing, in my view, that a reasonable person would see sexual about this image. Now, 25 years earlier, because that's being said today, 25 years earlier, Kurt Cobain wanted to cover this baby's genitals with a sticker that said, if you're offended by this, you must be a closet pedophile. So these two people are a quarter century apart saying the exact same thing. There's nothing, in my view, that a reasonable person would see as sexual about this. However, a pedophile would have a problem with it, or a pedophile would be turned on by it. So this kid presenting a lawsuit now, well, what's going through your head when you see a baby penis? Because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's about a baby penis. It's not about a dollar bill. It's not about a fish hook. Cobain was making a political statement with everything he said without trying to make a political statement. So it's not like he sat down and really thought this through and was like, what if we had a baby with his dick out and he's underwater and he's looking at a dollar bill on a fish hook? Like, I doubt that's how that went. In fact, if it did, they never would have shot other babies that were girls. So this was an artistic expression. It went the way it went, and nobody in 30 years ever had an issue with this baby penis until this SLAP lawsuit and this group of lawyers all came out and said, hey, we could make some money here.
Erica says it should be only against a photographer then, because most likely he's the one that sold his photo. I think they all work together. I think that's the whole thing. And Eric
Not
also
only
said,
that, the photographer was friends with the parents. The photographer called the parents and asked them, "Come down.
yeah.
We'll give you money for tacos, motherfuckers."
She also said you should have had this ready in a timeline, Pat, with an eye roll emoji.
In my defense, I did have it ready in the timeline. It was highlighted, but then there was a lot highlighted. I should have highlighted in a different color.
All right, so we're gonna get into another. It's a video right after this break. All right, Pat. So the lovely Miss Liz sent this in. I'm gonna warn everybody. It's kind of long. It's supposedly this was found on Reddit, and this kid is playing the videos off of Reddit. It's quite disturbing to listen to the whole thing, but I have a pretty good take on it. I think.
I'm curious what your take is. I don't think you can see what my take is coming.
Oh, I know what your take is because I know how you feel, Pat.
Oh, that's a good point. You know exactly what my fucking take is. That's fucked up.
Fucking piece of shit. All right, so
that's fair. I will mute me.
Anonymous Confessions from Reddit Users, Part 1 of 4. Mind you, these may be shocking, sad, creepy, or downright disturbing.
I'm putting my extremely profoundly disabled 7-year-old into a residential facility, so I can forget he exists. I'm not sorry. I can't tell anyone this, even my therapist. Lambaste me if you want, and maybe I even deserve it. I only ask what you would do if you were in my situation. Not what you think people should do. What you would really do. I'm a single mom of 2 boys. 12 and 7. My husband passed away 3 years ago in a work accident. A very large portion of me believe it was a suicide. I can't see him ever making the mistake he made that caused his death, and he had taken an action just before that which ensured his co-workers weren't in the room. I fully believe he killed himself because of our younger son, and no one will ever change my mind. We were told when I was pregnant that he would have Down syndrome. We could handle that. Even if it was severe. It turned out he has a chromosome deletion. His disorder is kind of rare, so I won't post which specific one, but suffice to say he'll never be anything more than he is now or has ever been. And what he is nothing. He doesn't appear to have any awareness and never has. His eyes are locked in one position, he doesn't respond to noise, touch, or pain. He is total care. He is capable of nothing. He is tube-fed and on oxygen. He is in diapers and will be forever. He makes no sounds, no attempts to communicate. He never even really cried as a baby. He has never made an attempt to interact with anyone or his environment. I'm not upset because I got a special needs and imperfect child. I feel the way I feel because this thing takes up 200% of my time and does nothing. I didn't get an imperfect child. I didn't get a child. I don't love him. He doesn't have any personality, there is nothing to love. And yet I'm responsible for him. In addition to his extreme delays, he's also medically fragile. Respiratory crises, fecal impactions, his autonomic nervous system doesn't function properly, issues with his G-tube, infections, pressure sores no matter what we put him on or how we position him. Our older son has suffered because his non-existent brother has colored everything in his life. His medical care gets delayed because there's only one of me and his brother is more critical. We do have a visiting home nurse, but only 20 hours a week, and we aren't eligible for more. I was starting law school, I gave up my dreams and my plan for my children for this potato. My older son can't do a lot of things he wants to do because of the younger's need for care and appointments.
Alright, so I just have to, I couldn't have both of the videos up at once, so hold on.
Anonymous Confessions from Reddit Users, Part 2 of 4. Mind you, these may be shocking, sad, creepy, or downright disturbing.
The final straw was I heard a sound. I went into younger son's room to check, thinking he had forgotten how to breathe again, and saw a older son hitting him and screaming, "You're why I don't have a mother. You're why I don't have a father. You're why I can't have friends over. You're why I can't be in sports. I didn't ask for you and I hope you die." Instead of being horrified, I watched. And younger son just did not react. No signs of pain or fear or upset. No reaction at all. He breathes but he is not alive. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know who older son is. He has no sense of self, life experience, or awareness of his surroundings. He doesn't need to be in my home. He doesn't know or care where he is. He is genetically my son but he is not family. My previously abused, brain-damaged cat who can't walk straight has more personality and is far more lovable than my child. In fact, I was looking forward to raising a Downs baby. Even one with severe impairments, for that reason. With disability can come gifts. This boy is not a gift. He is a genetic mistake. I probably should have miscarried and would have definitely terminated if I'd known he would be like this. And the flip side is, if he has awareness, he's miserable. And there is nothing I can do. If he has likes and dislikes, no one knows what they are. If he is in pain, he can't tell anyone. If he wants anything, he can't communicate. He's had every imaginable therapy, nothing has made a difference. And so he's leaving our home on the 29th. I feel excited and relieved and then guilty because I know we'll be happier with him gone. He's already taken my husband and my son's father. He was working so much, to pay for the cucumber's care. For the experimental therapies insurance wouldn't cover. Because this one was going to be the breakthrough. He was tired and defeated and disappointed. He sought counseling as well, but I don't think he could ever say the words "I don't want my son in my home" either. He's ruined my older son. I was so wrapped up on the younger I never realized how ignored and damaged he was. He lost his father too. I didn't just lose my husband. He is my priority now, and this malignant lump can be someone else's problem. At least they'll be paid a wage to care for him. At least they'll get a break from him when they punch out. I just want to never think of him again, and I'm not sorry. And for that, I'm sorry. Thanks for listening.
Okay, Pat. That was some wild shit. Some fucking
Absolutely
wild.
insane. It's really sad.
So, I just want to get this out of the way. Phobic's in the chat. He says, "What the fuck am I watching? Laugh my ass off. Potato. This is wild." So I took
She also
some
called him a
notes.
cucumber at one point.
Yes, she did. I took some notes while we were playing that because there's some things I want to say. So let's hear your take, Pat.
I don't think this woman has anything to feel guilty about. I'm not sure how necessary the name calling is, but I think she's doing that to get her message across. And I think she's very, very frustrated, even angry at the situation. She's not mad at the kid. She's mad at the situation. She's mad that she kept the baby. She's mad that her son is losing his fucking mind. He hasn't had a normal life because of this kid. Her husband killed himself. She's assuming because of this kid. Sounds like he didn't leave much of a note because probably he felt guilty about having the feelings towards this kid. She has spent 7 fucking years doing something that most of us couldn't do for 7 days, let alone 7 weeks or 7 months. And now she has a little bit of remorse giving him up. I say no remorse. You do what you think is best for that kid. And if what's best for that kid is inconsequential because the kid has no bearing or thought or feeling, but you put him in the hands of professionals, which, by the way, she is not. She's not a medical professional. She is not built to care for this kid. She did not, go to school for it. They get 20 hours of help a week. I say more power to her. She has the opportunity to give her 14-year-old a normal, happy, healthy life. Unfortunately, that will be without his father, and she has the opportunity herself to, go out and date and find somebody new and live a happy, healthy life herself. She needs to do what's best for the people she can help. She's incapable of helping this 7-year-old child. She needs to cut bait and call it quits. And if the guilt is overwhelming and she wants to go visit him, go ahead. But you can't have this kid in your house destroying everybody's life around him. It's not fair to anybody, including the kid. The kid doesn't want to be a burden. Nobody wants to be a burden. That's my take, man.
Okay. This lady's a piece of shit. That's my take.
All right, went the other way on that one.
No, and it's not for
Phobic Squirrel said it's the vaccine.
vaccines. But anyway, not for the reason, like, I don't think that she's a piece of shit for giving up, or putting a kid into a home. That's not what I agree with you. If that's what's best for the kid, then that's what's best for the kid. But I think that we both can agree that words matter, right? Like what you say matters.
Well, that depends. Who do the words matter to?
To everybody. Like the way that she
Are you, are
describes,
you, are you saying
like,
that the words matter to the invalid? And I say
no,
that I
I'm
don't know
so,
if that term can be used offensively or not. I don't mean to use it offensively. If you're saying that she hurt the kid's feelings, I
no,
don't think that you're correct.
no. What I'm saying is that she's a piece of shit that she would view a child that came out of her to say that the cat that
I
was
love that you're
brain
looking at
damaged,
notes right now.
the cat that had brain damage was more lovable than the child that came out of you. You're a fucking giant piece of shit, and that you should never have another child. You don't care about your other child any more than you care about the fucking potato on the couch. Because I mean, it's obvious. Like, you're a fucking selfish human being. Now, if you came out and said, I'm putting my child into a home because I don't have the care for him, he has caused a massive, uh, massive struggles on our home life for me and my husband. I believe my husband may have killed himself because of this. My other child is suffering. All those things I'm okay with. But you're a piece of shit. And the fact that you didn't stop your older son from trying to kill the fucking child that can't even defend itself, right? You're a horrible person, and your son is a fucking serial killer in the making. 100%.
Where did it say he was trying to kill him?
When he was smothering him with the fucking pillow and beating on him with the pillow.
I think if he wanted to kill him, he would have killed him. It seems like a defenseless target.
Yeah.
I do think once maybe that was the eye opener though. Maybe that's where
Yeah, but do you want to know what
she
really
sees this and she goes, "Holy fuck! This kid's now facing physical assault from his brother. I have to do something now. I can't continue to play the poor me game of I shouldn't have to do this or whatever game she was playing in her own mind, feeling guilty."
Well, listen, I understand that she feels guilty, right? But the fact that does she really feel guilty because she's sitting there saying I don't love him? Well, if you didn't love him, then you wouldn't feel guilty about it. Or you're just
I
worried
think
about
she
what other
feels
people
guilty
think about
because
you.
of people's perception. Yes, correct. She feels guilty because other people will put that on her. Other people will say, whatever, I would never do that to my kids, or you're not a
Well,
real
that's your
mom, or
fault.
you don't love your kids. But she's saying,
She said that she wants to pretend
Erica
he's
said
dead. She's a horrible fucking
yeah,
person. I don't give a
that was
fuck.
probably to my point that you could go visit him. No, man, I don't think I think it's very difficult to pass judgment on this woman because we could never even imagine being put in that
And just
position.
because the father is a weak-minded individual and decided to kill himself, like, you can't put that on. It's not the kid's fault. It's not the kid.
I
Like,
don't think
she's
she's saying that
she
the
is
kid
100% the whole
killed the
time. She's
dad. She's saying
no,
the
she
dad
said
killed himself because of the kid.
that's what I'm saying. But that's putting blame on the kid. Like, oh, this kid's so horrible, I had to kill myself. Well, you're weak-minded. You guys should have made that decision together. If that was the case, how are you married to somebody and not know exactly what they're going through?
I don't disagree that the lines of communication should have opened probably around day one. So then you've got, like she tells the story, the dad keeps trying experimental stuff and, whatever surgeries and therapies and things that just aren't working. At some point, this guy probably committed over and over and over again to, I'm going to see this through. And then one day realized, okay, I can't see this through because there is no good ending. And I think that's when it was just too much for the dad. Phobic Squirrel is ripping you to shreds right now. He said,
I know.
damn weak-minded, 11 vets a day are weak-minded. This just in from the number niner himself, Robin Williams, weak-minded. Phobic Squirrel does not like that you refer to suicide as weak-minded. For the record, I also am not a huge fan of suicide being referred to as weak-minded.
I'm not.
The problem is
what I'm saying is, people like, I don't know, man. I don't. You know what? I don't feel fucking sympathy for people. I don't. I don't feel sorry for your situation. There's a way around the situation. You should have communicated better. You know who should feel guilty the most about the suicide? She shouldn't be putting it on the kid or the kid's disabilities or whatever. That wife should feel guilty about not communicating with her husband enough to know what he was going through to come up with a solution together. Now, if you like, if he if they put him into a home together and then he killed himself, now that's a little bit different, right? He feels guilty about the decisions that he's made. But at this point, she's portraying it like he killed himself because he had a kid with all these impairments. And he couldn't handle it. You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted. You
I'm
think
not.
that this mother is to blame for the father's death?
Yes, 100%, because she wasn't communicating. If my wife kills herself and I wasn't aware of the situation, like what she's going through, that's partially on me for not paying attention to what my wife is going through.
So you think that the brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, children, and friends of the soldiers who are killing themselves, that's on them, not on
No,
what
because
they've
they
gone
don't
through.
live with them.
Okay, but the wives, the husbands, they live with them.
They're two different scenarios, Pat. Situations are situational. You're not comparing apples to apples.
Well, they're going through
You're
something that they
comparing
were not built
I
to go
understand.
through. They're going through something that no human being should ever have to endure, and as a result, they reach a breaking point. And let's call a spade a spade. I know you're not going to like this take, but their mental health is called into question.
I'm not
And they
disagreeing with you.
can't.
I'm not listen, I'm not debating that suicide's a sad thing or that people what I'm saying is it's partially the wife's fault for not getting him help or sitting down to say, let's fix this situation and put him into a home together so you don't feel the burden on yourself.
I think that
You're not going to change my
first off,
mind
I
that this
agree.
lady's
I
a
think they
fucking
should
piece
have
of
had.
shit.
They should have had a conversation. The problem is, I don't think that either one of them was willing to say it first. I don't think either one of them was willing to say, I
You know
don't
what?
want
I think the
to
mother
do
should kill
this.
herself too.
Wow. I would like to point out that Phobic Squirrel is being gangsta as fuck and said, you think you tough? Erica said maybe his solution was to accidentally die to get life insurance, and that was the best way he could contribute. I don't doubt that. And I bet that, to Erica's point, that could have been out of guilt. I've spent all of this extra money. I've spent everything our family has worked for on this kid, and I wasted all that money on unsuccessful things. Maybe I should, at the bare minimum, contribute back the financial burden that the kid has been.
But we said, all right,
Phobic
well,
said-
I'm done listening to this. I'm just saying, man. Hold on. So, Phobic, you think that the fact that I think this lady's a piece of shit is a wrong take?
Well, you have your opinion. You can't be wrong in your opinion. I do not agree with your opinion by any stretch.
Hold on. I'm not saying that she's a piece of shit. Let's just make this perfectly clear. I don't think she's a piece of shit for putting this child into a home where he can get the care that he needs around the clock.
No, you think she's a piece of shit because somebody else did something.
No, I think she's a piece of shit for the words that she used to describe her child and blaming everything on this child that has happened to her around her instead of being an adult and making this decision 7 years ago and saying, okay, what's going to be best for his child is to put him in a home where he can get the care that he needs. And then maybe you wouldn't pretend that he's dead.
Wouldn't you? So if they did that at birth, is what you're saying, 7 years ago, by that
Or
you mean
even
at
6
birth,
months
correct?
in, like realizing not even at birth, 6 months in, you realize that this child's going to have way more disabilities than you ever thought. And I can understand the fact of if I would have known that he was going to have all these ailments, we're going to put him, we would have terminated the pregnancy. Okay? Totally understand all that. I'm not disagreeing with any of those thoughts or takes. What I'm disagreeing with is that she wasn't an adult enough with her husband to say at 6 months, a year old, when it became too much to say we need to put him into a home where he can be cared for appropriately. And then to 7 years later turn around and say, he's the reason my husband's dead, he's the reason my other son doesn't have a normal life, he's a cucumber, he's a potato, he's fucking, I should have killed him, or I should have miscarried, all this horrible shit to say, you're still that kid's mother. Like, you're a piece of shit if that's your outlook. That's my opinion. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that they should put him in a home, and that's what's best for him.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I do. Still don't agree. But okay, so at 6 months, they should have called it quits and put him in a home. But at 6 months, this family wasn't ready to give up on the kid. They were trying experimental things. They were dumping money into the problem, looking for a solution. So they didn't put him in sooner because they were doing everything that they possibly could have. And when they had finally they now have nothing left. They've lost family members. They've got a child who's freaking the fuck out, assaulting this human being who's basically being described as not a human being, because the things that make you a human being, she's saying, are, a personality or likes and dislikes or a little bit of imagination. She's saying he doesn't have any of these things. He's not a human being by my definition of human being. And I've done everything humanly possible to help him. I'm at the end of my road. You're saying, and I think that this is accurate, you're saying she shouldn't have put everything she had in. She should have quit a little sooner so that she had something left to salvage of herself.
I'm not even saying that they needed to quit, right? They could still do all these experimental things while he's in the care of somebody else. I'm not saying that they need to give up, that they should have given up on this child. What I'm saying is, and so Phobic says, you don't know the impacts of someone is going to have. Hindsight is 2020. Get off your high horse, bro. Is Biden to blame for the Afghan thing? No, he's not. Pat the snowflake is worried about the word she used. That's not what
how is
what I'm saying.
How did I just get attacked? First off,
you didn't.
Everything that I've said.
You didn't. He said that I'm offended by the words that she used. I'm the snowflake. What I'm saying,
Pat, comma the snow. I get it. Thanks, Phobic. Erica said it doesn't matter when they made the decision to do it. All of her guilt and hurt, she turned to anger against this kid. I agree. I think that's
what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. That she's a piece of shit because all of her hurt and anger is towards this kid when the kid has no fucking control. That's my problem with it. Like, if my son was a vegetable, right? For real. And I'm going through what she's going through. Would I be upset? Absolutely, I'd be upset. Would I want to put him into a home? Absolutely, I would. But I wouldn't blame my misfortunes, me giving up my dreams of going to law school and all this other shit, and blame it on this kid. That's parenting 101. If I gave up my dreams, I would never blame it on my kids. You're an asshole if you do that. You're just a straight up asshole.
I think that given the option, she didn't give up everything for the kid. She gave up everything in hopes that she could make this kid a productive member of the family, or a productive member of society, or something that could be lovable and something that could show love. And she failed. I think her real anguish here isn't towards the kid. The kid is the fulcrum, I guess. I don't know, the crux. But I think her anger is that her and her husband and her other child have lost everything because the only thing that they did was focus on something that wasn't successful. And that's where she's really, really frustrated.
But that's on her. That's on them. She shouldn't be saying all this negative shit about that kid. Like, that's my biggest. I would never, ever, ever say that about my kid. Ever. I mean, I say shit like this fucking asshole, or this, like, you know what I mean? But I would never on an open platform be like, I hate my child. That it's the worst thing that ever happened to me, because I don't feel that way. And if you feel that way, you shouldn't be a parent about any of your kids.
But okay. No, I agree that you would never say that, but your child isn't the worst thing that ever happened to you. Can you imagine that this woman's been through something worse than this? Can you imagine that this child isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to her? Because I'm going to assume this child is the worst thing that's ever happened to this woman. This child would be the worst thing to happen to any human that I've ever met.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I'm not disagreeing with you, man. Like I said, dude, I'm not mad at the fact that she wants to put him in a home or anything like that. I'm upset in the fact that she went out onto a public forum and said, like, describe this child in this way, dude. I feel like that's the most hateful thing that she could have possibly done, man. Like I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't. You know what it is, dude? I have too much compassion for living things to say that, like, I couldn't be that fucking hateful. That's my problem. I can't understand why somebody could actually say that about their child or a niece, a nephew, whatever, another person that way. Like, that to me, that's some hateful shit.
Okay. Have you said things that are at least this harsh about your child's mother before?
What, that she's a horrible person?
She's useless or a couch potato. Have you ever used those terms to describe her?
Oh, she's definitely useless.
Okay. Thank you. Do you feel like she has done more to you to affect your life negatively than this child has done to this mother?
No.
So you would, in fact, use those words to describe another human being.
No, I would
Even
not.
a human being.
I would not say that I pretend that she's dead. I would not say that she's
Have you ever
ruined
wished
the
that
rest.
she was?
No, no.
I
Like,
will be the first to say I have no respect for the woman, not the woman that we're talking about, the woman that birthed your child, and that she has gone out of her way to make his life less.
yeah, but so, like, to your point, right? To your exact point, I have gone through fucking hell because of that woman, right? Hindsight's 2020, man. It all worked out. You know what I mean? It like
Okay, so you're actually thankful for the
I'm
type of woman she is.
dude, I'm thankful for all the obstacles that have been brought in front of me because they've shaped me into the person I am today. I don't look to look at things as, like, at the time they suck, absolutely. And hopefully
But this
this will.
woman's still going through it. She's still in the time.
I'm not disagreeing with you. But what I'm just saying, the way that she approached the situation in my eyes makes her a piece of shit. I'm not, like I said, her as a individual is a piece of shit for the way that she talks about that child. Other than that, I totally agree with her. Put him in a home, do what's best for the child. That's what's best for the child. 100%.
Do you just think
going,
she's phobic is not happy with you?
I know.
I-
You gonna read what he says?
Yeah, hold on. Let me scroll. There's a lot to this. Oh, I can't scroll. Can I scroll?
I can.
Okay.
Erica said it doesn't matter. They made a decision to do it. All the guilt and hurt, she turned to anger. We said that already. He would never be a vegetable, maybe some grapes, but never a vegetable.
See what she did there? She's saying there would be sour grapes, but she wouldn't, if they had taken care of this sooner, she wouldn't be so harsh.
Yes. Phobic said, oof. He's upset that he doesn't love this thing, but calls his own kid an effing a-hole. Well, I still love my child. Still could be an asshole. You know what, the kid can actually understand and internalize the words you're using. Well, I see that point. This dude's straight line, a very round person, not to be confused with well-rounded. That's a
Phobic
bad joke.
Squirrel is lighting you up like a fucking Christmas tree right now.
All right. Well,
you know what? I think that when we come back on Wednesday, Erica said, no, I was talking about our son. What did Erica say? Remind me, because
that he would never be a vegetable, maybe some grapes, but never a vegetable. Because he eats grapes, not vegetables.
I see. I thought she was being prophetic. My apologies. I think that by Wednesday, your thought process may clarify a little bit. I think that I think you're responding on a hair trigger, man. I do.
This isn't the first time I've listened to it.
I'm trying to help you out here, buddy. You're not helping me help you.
Pat, I don't need help, man. My opinions are my opinions, and I don't feel like I need to step out of them.
Okay, I agree. You have the right to an opinion.
Like, yeah. I
I
don't know.
actually thought your take on this was going to be that she had to shoulder the burden and keep the kid forever, and that we were going to disagree on that front. I did not realize how.
No, I don't think that.
I
No,
was.
because I could understand what she like. I can't imagine what she's going through, right? But I can understand what she's going through. By the way, it's a nice hot take. He said. Uh, I can hot piece of poop take. Phobic. Um, I understand what she's going through. Like I don't know what she's going through, but I understand it. And I'm not like I don't think that she should be guilty or any of that for putting this kid into a home. That's what's best for the child. At the end of the day, that shows signs of what's that you're like if this lady would have came on this Reddit forum and said, I feel guilty because I'm putting my son into a home, but I can no longer take care of him, or I haven't been able to take care of him. Even if she said, I believe my husband committed suicide because of the burden that he's had on us, all those things. What really got me, right? What really got me was the potato cucumber. My cat has a better personality than he does. Like, come on, man. Like, there's no reason to say those fucking things.
The reason she's saying those things is because she's expressing where she's at emotionally. She's not
because you
saying
want to know
them
what,
literally.
Pat?
She's
Because
saying,
she doesn't want she wants people to feel bad for her and woe me. This is so fucking horrible. People go through this every day. Every day, people go through this. This isn't just her.
I don't disagree that she wants people to feel a certain way. I think that she's trying to express to people it doesn't matter how they feel. She's saying you guys can't possibly fathom what this has been like, and this is what I'm doing. This is why. Because to me, this thing that I have spent 7 years investing literally the life of my husband, the well-being of my child, the well-being of my own just mental sanctitude has been abused for this thing that is equivalent to a potato, that my cat who has brain damage is more lovable than this thing. We've given everything we have to this thing that is essentially a garden variety vegetable because we didn't invest the time in ourselves. We didn't invest the time in each other. We gave everything we had to the wrong place. I don't think she means any of this ill-intentioned. I think she's saying, I'm fucking done. I'm done caring for this thing that doesn't even understand that I care for it. I'm done loving this thing that doesn't understand that I love it. I don't love it. I'm over it. I'm doing something different.
Okay.
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 You want to break down these lyrics real quick?
Yeah, how deep into the podcast are we? I don't have a timer now.
Just about an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Phobic Squirrel definitely wants us to go to the next segment.
All right, hold
on. Are we recording or not recording? You said hold on.
We're not recording. I'm dropping in the gaming thing.
Phobic Squirrel, we're moving on.
Thank the chicken nugget. I don't get what the chicken nugget reference is, man. Did she call
I think he's
chicken?
referring to I think he's referring to you as a chicken nugget because of the shape of your body. I could be wrong.
That's not nice, man.
He earlier said this chicken nugget motherfucker.
I don't get what it's... No, it's the kid.
Oh.
Pat, you want to give your take on the mentally disabled?
I mean, do you mean my take from today or my take from when I was 20 years old?
Take when you were 20 years old.
That you repeated to me.
That you repeated to me when you were 32 years old.
I was not 32.
You were living in
32.
It might have been older than that because you were living in my home.
Could have been older, could have been younger. No leg, no arm, no nothing. Chicken nugget mofug.
Chicken nugget mofug. All right, ready? All right, so Tom McDonald came out with a new song. This was 2 Fridays ago. He also dropped another song this week. But we're gonna break down. It's called Brainwashed. So Pat, you want to go for it?
Here we go. Half the country fell asleep, but they stay scream woke. We are distracted by vaccines and TV shows, politics, celebrity, gossip, popular, neat quotes, black lives, white lives, which lives mean most. We only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out of the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month. The most dangerous pandemic's propaganda from these clowns. Only mask that's going to save us is the duct tape on their mouths. Don't speak. We don't need to defund the police. Need to defund the media who lies through their teeth. Like Big Pharma doesn't cure you, dog, because every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. And Big Oil runs the world. The only wars that get fought are with the countries who have natural resources that they want. Heard them claiming if a white man braids his hair and likes rap, he's appropriating culture. But if a white man acts too white, he's white trash and is a rapist. He's a bigot
Racist.
and he's a monster.
A racist.
What'd I say?
Rapist?
What'd I say?
Rapist?
I said rapist?
Yes.
I was all right. Well, that was supposed to be racist. He's a bigot and a monster.
So you want to...
Then it's so funny how this website breaks it down. It says pre-chorus. And then it says chorus. So in rap, we know that there's not choruses, there's hooks. And the pre-chorus there is actually known as a bridge. So for anybody who is a fan of rap music, the pre-chorus is the bridge, the chorus is the hook.
So you want to talk about this first verse real quick?
Yeah, let's go bar by bar. So your first bars are the country fell asleep, but they scream woke, distracted by vaccines and TV shows. And then kind of just what lives matter most. So he's summarizing very, very quickly summarizing things that he's made songs all about, right? Because this is a guy who has shed a consistent message over several years now. So he's bringing it all in and kind of saying like Brainwashed, the direction he's going is he's going to do an overview of what's going on. He's not being too specific in this song, which I like.
I think he's being... here's one of the things that I think you and I like about Tom McDonald. He doesn't necessarily put his views out there, right? He just says what he sees. And
yeah, he's a generalizer.
And it's nonstop hypocrisy. It's just all the time. You know what I mean? So
if this isn't my favorite Tom McDonald bar, it's easily in the top 10. Where he says, we only dedicate one day to remember our fallen soldiers, the men and women who died young. But if you come out of the closet as Caitlyn Jenner, you're a hero and you get a whole Pride Month. So he's not attacking Caitlyn Jenner, which is what that's what people who oppose Tom McDonald will say. They'll say he's a homophobe or he's transphobic because he's taking shots at Caitlyn Jenner. He's not. He's saying if we're giving Pride a fucking month, why are we giving fallen soldiers a day? Yeah. It's not you're not being fair.
Exactly.
People celebrating Pride for a month are people who are recognizing that Pride doesn't get the attention that it deserves, that they're human beings and they deserve to be treated like other human beings. At the same time, they're saying, why wouldn't they get a whole month? I mean, we gave soldiers a day. Well, maybe that's why they shouldn't get a month. Or maybe soldiers should get a month. Or maybe soldiers should get every other fucking month.
Yeah. I also like the only mask that we needed is the duct tapes on their mouths for the media. Phenomenal line. Because how much propaganda is there in the fucking news?
Yeah. The Big Pharma doesn't cure you, dog. Every patient that gets cured is a customer lost. That's again, he's made songs about that entire topic, and now he's just summarizing it and saying, like, listen, you have to pay attention to what's going on. These motherfuckers aren't curing things that are curable because that's where the revenue's at. Folks Squirrel said, how about nobody gets any day and everybody gets every Phobic Squirrel, I am not against you, but you're talking about less days off from work. So I'm going to take a hard stance on let's give everybody at least a Monday so that Patrick can have 3-day weekends. Just throwing that out there. I think if anything, we should recognize more groups. There should be a WWE day. There should be a Number 9 with Tommy day, and everybody should take these Mondays off paid.
We don't get Veterans Day off, so
We don't get Veterans Day off?
no.
If I was a veteran, I would complain. As it were, I am not.
Yeah, but you could use your floating holiday for Veterans Day if you were a veteran.
That makes sense. So the bridge here, let's just have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb. Not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors because they know if we get along, we'd probably go against them. Forgive Tom McDonald for being a Canadian, goddammit. That's how we end up with words like against fitting into his songs. Canadian born, American bred.
That says against.
It does, but that doesn't rhyme. If it says fighting with their neighbors and then probably go against them, that doesn't rhyme. He uses the word against because it rhymes because he's Canadian, and they say things like against and a boot and a.
All right.
But the hook,
so I think Tom McDonald's on my side. It's time for a revolution.
I suppose we'll see as the song goes on.
All right.
He says they can't stop us because we're ready to fight, try to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. It's us against them. It's you against me. Sounds like Tom McDonald's punch you in the face.
It ain't you against me, is what it says. Should I be reading these?
I gotta tell you, Tom, I didn't know we were gonna do the lyrics. I just copied and pasted them, and now I'm just reading along. I haven't listened to the song 9,000 times. I've listened to it probably 3 times.
That's it? Why? I think it's one of his best songs.
Because there's a whole bunch of people who have made a whole bunch of really good songs, and I don't listen to one on repeat. I don't listen to one every time we're getting ready for the podcast. I listen to a whole dude. I've been listening to oldies music for like fucking 2 weeks straight. Actually, Alanis Morissette's concert was last night. I've been listening to Alanis Morissette for like 4 days leading up to that concert because I want. And I should have fucking invited Erica because at the end of the day, did I not tell this story that Liz had no fucking clue who Alanis Morissette was? No clue. She's 6 years younger than me. 6 years. That doesn't seem like a very long time. She didn't know who Alanis Morissette was.
I'm not
she
laughing
didn't know
at
who
that.
Jewel was.
Phobic says, man, you know you're having a rough day when Tom's correcting your speaking.
Thank you, Phobic Squirrel. I appreciate that. Did I explain this on the podcast, Tom?
No, that the girl that's younger than you doesn't know who Jewel is?
She's 30. She's not that much younger. She straight up did not know who Jewel was. She did not know who Alanis Morissette was. I played their songs, and it took her until the chorus to realize what they were.
So I think it's important to point this fact out, right? The reason I know who those people are is because my parents were in their probably early 30s when that music came out, so they listened to it because it was new music, right?
Tom, how old are your parents right now?
They're in their 50s.
Okay.
So they're probably in their early 30s.
I mean, Alanis Morissette and Jewel were both in the 90s. I watched.
Yep, that would make them in their 30s.
Right. I'm saying.
Can I make my point?
Yeah.
So
my
parents listened to them because it was the new music that was out for their generation. Her parents are both immigrants, are they not? So they probably didn't listen.
They are not. Her mother is American born.
Oh. Well, regardless, I mean, her parents may not have just listened to that music, so she was never exposed to that music. You get what I'm saying?
Tom, you know who she does recognize and knows every fucking lyric to?
What's that?
The Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. You know what was out at the same time as the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC?
But that was for
fucking Jewel. Jewel was out at the exact same time.
Yeah, but there were 2 different crowds. NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys were her age group.
Both of these crowds that you're distinguishing as 2 different crowds were watching TRL, and both of these groups of people were on TRL. Oh my God, you have to be kidding. You're kidding, right? Tommy, are you there?
What's TRL?
Do you really not remember Total Request Live with Carson Daly?
Of course I remember it. Come on.
Ah, Jesus, fuck. Okay, so
I
you could
don't
easily
ever
have seen.
remember Alanis Morissette or Jewel being on DRL.
I didn't mention Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette may have been. You know what? I think "Thank You" was on TRL. But certainly Jewel. I mean, Jewel, her rise to fame was during the TRL era. Or as Nikki Glacier calls her, Triller Swift. I love that shit. I just feel like she's not young enough to not remember these people. Erica said she would have loved to go to that concert. I know, Erica. I should have fucking asked you. I didn't know it was last night. If it was next weekend, we'd definitely be going because my brother took his kids, and I'm super jealous that they got to go see Alanis Morissette live. And to top it all off, Garbage opened for her, which I'm sure was a pretty good opening act. What the fuck?
All right, let's hurry and blow this out.
This is what I get for being a closet Alanis Morissette fan, man. I got to be more vocal with my love.
Can we hurry this up?
Second verse. What?
Let's hurry this up.
Second verse of the Tom McDonald song. How did monkeys become people and people turned into sheep? They put fluoride in the water. That's what's keeping us all asleep. Claim they want what's best for us. I find that hard to believe because they've been selling us cigarettes since we was 18. Fake news, fake woke, distract and divide. You're either right or you're left, or you're black or you're white. Big tech don't need a microchip to hack into your life because the phone inside your pocket is a tracking device. And I don't know what I'm more sick of, rappers or Joe Biden, looking like he ate 100 Xanax for dinner. Because censoring the president, and kicking him off of Twitter is a bigger threat to freedom than foreign ballistic missiles. You don't trust the police or the government, but you want people giving up their right to own a firearm. Why would you be comfortable if police and the government, the only people on the planet with the right to buy a gun? White privilege getting amplified to reinforce the vision. It convinces white people that they're favored by their skin, and black people angry because they're told they're treated different. So the conflict is between us and never with the system. Then he goes back into the bridge and the hook. Let's have the conversation. Not every liberal is dumb. Not all Republicans are racist. The government wants everybody fighting with their neighbors.
He has a lot of more good. Like, I like the funny you put in there with the 100 Xanax for dinner. I laugh every time I hear it. But the phone is the microchip in your pocket. We divide by you either white or you're black or you're left or you're right. The fucking selling cigarettes since we were 18. It, like, just all good analogies. I love it. This last one. Oh, that's it, huh?
I also like anytime somebody makes light of the contradictory stances that we take for the sake of politics. So if you say defund the police, I don't trust police officers. You know, they're part of the government that I don't trust. Okay, I understand your take. Whether I agree with it or not, I completely understand your take. At the same time, if you say you have to take guns out of the hands of innocent women and men because the only ones who can get guns legally are innocent, because I don't trust innocent women and men to, I guess, selflessly provide safety, which is kind of what the gun owner says. Like, I do this for safety. Then you can't stand on both of those pulpits, right? You can't say, I don't trust the police. And as a result of that, I believe only the police should have guns. That's the dumbest, most hypocritical argument that anybody can make. And a good portion of the country is making it. I can't get behind you on that, man. And I love that Tom McDonald is poignant enough to play on those double takes.
Yeah. I think this was a great song. It really, I mean, it fits his narrative, right? Like I'm going to speak out against all the hypocrisy in the world. It's great, man. And I like the whole, you know, we're not all dumb. We're not all racist. They want us to fight with each other. Like, they're having us fight with each other so that they can do shady shit.
Yeah, we're actually covering this after his newest song, Dummies, was released. Did you listen to Dummies?
Yeah, so again, I don't think like the more and more I listen to it, it grows on me because you start really listening like deep down to the lyrics. And again, a lot of the same shit. Um, well, not the same things, but the same type of stuff. Um, it just as a song, it's too like poppy for me. You know, it's too like bouncy.
To that point, Dummies got 1 million listens in 10 hours. That's how I knew that this song was not made for me. When 1 million people listened to it in 10 hours, I went, that song's going to be poppy as fuck when I listened to it. And I listened to it and went, God damn it. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's an independent artist. He's got to sell records. Good for him for being able to combine his message and make poppy music, but that one is not a song that was made for me. And I agree with the last several Tom McDonald songs. I have to listen to them 2 or 3 times before they even really set in as a good song. Brainwashed, I didn't particularly care for at first. I didn't not like it, but it didn't really, whatever. And then once you get the chance to hear,
I think Brainwash is so like these are my probably top 5 Tom McDonald songs. Brainwashed, Fake Woke, uh Canceled, I Hate Hip Hop, and Snowflakes.
so
But
4 of them are in his last 7 or 8 songs.
yeah. I used to really like People So Stupid, but the like and again I still appreciate the message. But I think the songs that came out so People So Stupid is what turned me on to Tom McDonald.
Yeah.
But since then the songs that he has put out are I think even better than that one. Right? I think that set him up to do all these songs. And there's so much like he just keeps getting better with these songs.
I think that as far as uh, rap goes, if you don't include his 2 Mac Lethal disses, you're missing a lot of what Tom McDonald's capable of, because now we know him capable of, he's capable of conveying a message with his words, which is great because he's an artist and I prefer a lyrical artist. But his ability to actually be a rapper and just destroy his opponent is what drew me to Tom McDonald. So I would have to at least start with those. The shit that he did, what's the No Good Bastards with Nova and his buddy Brandon? That song's fucking amazing because it's not really rap. He goes off and does some acid rap, which I respect his ability to kind of flex his chops in a different form of rap music. The dude's super fucking talented, and the fact that nobody can sign him is super fucking funny to me. The fact that he dangles that carrot in front of everybody and says, I'll never sign with you, and I'm self-made, I love him all the more for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And let's be fair, if he was signed to a record label, these songs would not be getting made, period.
No,
it doesn't matter what record label you put them with.
Because they don't want the controversy with it, you know?
Right. The half of people listening to Tom McDonald and loving him would compete with the half of people listening to Tom McDonald and hating him. He is the Howard Stern, people listen even longer when they don't like him because they can't wait to hear what he says next.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we broke that down finally. Hold on one second.
I'm holding.
All right, sorry about that. Ready? Pat, you there?
What am I ready for? Yeah.
10 the show.
Oh, yes, I'm ready.
All right, Pat. So I guess that's it for today's show. Make sure this is the last week you guys can sign up for the football league. If you want to sign up and you haven't yet and you're not sure where to find it, check our Facebook page. There's links on there, or you can just text me or Pat and we'll get you the links to sign up. Remember, the survivor pool is $25. $25 goes to the payout at the end. The survivor pool is $5 a week. $4 goes towards the weekly prizes and the end of year prize. I think what are we up to? Like 20 in each right now, Pat?
Yeah, we're somewhere in that ballpark.
around 20 in each. We would really like to make a big push and get 30. If we could do 50 in each by the end of the year or by the end of this week, that'd be great. I'll be sending out an email to everybody for the PayPal and Venmo account to pay. And remember, you got to be paid for the Survivor. You got to be paid week one. The Pick'em League, at least pay 1 week up front or the whole, and then you could pay every week if you want. But it'd be probably better if you just paid for the whole season, $90, and you're done. Pat, anything you want to add?
No, I say good day.